I was still new to the frontier when I encountered it, a beast that looked as if it had been lost in time. A relic of some forgotten age, resembling a creature from prehistory more than any modern monster. As it stormed with fury through the swamp, I was reminded simultaneously of Devil Joe and Glavenus. This creature seemed some horrid combination of the two. A nightmare.
Greetings, I'm Rainverse, your local purveyor of prehistoric pasauropods. Today we're taking a trip to Mezeporta to talk about Abio. Abio hails from Monster Hunter Frontier, and if you were to start playing the game today, it would likely be the first Frontier exclusive monster you hunt. Nefarious Joseph, Glavenus, they're finished. Abio is the best of both worlds. Get him out of here. Abio is a pissed off T-Rex that spits fire and has a roar that literally explodes. Not to mention that its tail is literally a combat knife, not a vaguely sword-shaped protrusion, an actual knife that can cut through both you and the ground like warm butter. And it doesn't even have to be heated like that fraud Glavenus' tail. Normally I don't talk about a monster's design in these videos, but I'm gonna do it here because I love this stupid green idiot. Abio fits in perfectly with other Frontier exclusive monsters, but its appearance definitely sets it apart from anything in the mainline Monster Hunter series. We've got plenty of dinosaur-esque monsters such as Devil Joe, Glavenus, Tigrex, and the various dromes, but Abio looks more ancient than any of them. With its muted green hide and bright orange spikes and blades, this guy has quite the striking appearance. And that tail, once again an actual knife. And you can use that knife if you play Greatsword. But we'll get to that in a moment. I want to talk about some of Abio's best attacks. First up, we have the aforementioned Exploding Roar, which, like Tigrex's, does damage your hunter. In the same vein, we have its Explosive Fire Roar, which just looks super cool. Although the animation is roughly 10 millennia long, so if you get hit by this, that's a skill issue. My personal favorite attack, though, is this Delayed Slam where Abio penetrates the ground with its tail so hard it causes an earthquake that can send your hunter flying. Overall, Abio makes for a fun fight at all ranks, although it does get competition with its cold weather cousin Jiaorugu later on. We'll get to him eventually. And the gear it makes is something special. Abio armor sets have a strong military theme. Here you can see both the Blade Master set and its accompanying weapons. First up, we have the longsword, although it's pretty short as far as frontier weapons go, but nonetheless still a great design. Here we have the Great Sword, bringing us back to the knife I was talking about earlier. It's literally just Abio's tail blade turned into a folding knife. I wish we got more weapons like this, to be honest. Now, a personal favorite, the Hunting Horn, which is a fucking missile. Look me in the eyes and tell me that's not the sickest shit you've ever seen. Lastly, for Blade Master weapons, we have the Gun Lance, although this one doesn't stand out as much since most gun lances are already cannons of some sort. Moving on to the Gunner set, it's still pretty good, although I prefer the Blade Master's look personally. Abio only makes two gunner weapons, the first being this heavy bow gun. Not much to say here since a gun is a gun. Second, we have the bow, which is kind of disappointing, but I can count the number of cool Monster Hunter bows on one hand, so what can you do? For many of you, I imagine this might be your first exposure to a frontier monster outside of Espinas and Sunbreak. If that's the case, I strongly urge you to at least try Frontier. Yes, it gets kind of wild and wacky at the higher ranks, but it's still Monster Hunter and it's a lot of fun. Setting up your own local server is very easy, but joining a public server is even easier. I play on the Rain server, and I strongly recommend that one, as well as using Ceph's rebalance patch to make the game flow a bit better. You can expect a lot more Frontier content to make its way to this channel in the future, including my own guide to Frontier progression for complete newcomers. I'm aiming to make the guide videos as short and efficient as possible to avoid overloading new players with extraneous information. Now it's that time again. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I'll know if you don't. I'm just outside your room, but just watching the video is enough for me. Once again, I've been Rainverse, and I'll be back on my bullshit again next week, whether you like it or not.